Okay, so when you're catching a charter flight or a flight in the middle of nowhere, there's a couple of things you need to remember. One, you have to find, like we're in Kaboom at the moment, so we had to find the North Coast Aviation agent. So today's Monday, so we found him Friday, because he's the guy who makes sure you get on the flight. He's the guy that liaises back to the main office. So whether it's MAF or North Coast or whoever, you always have to find the agent on ground, because they are the ones that liaise back to the offices. When you do that as well, be aware, we're a team of 9, so these planes take 9 people, but MAF planes don't often take 9 people, so sometimes they have to split the team, which means think through, already talk through with training about which leader is going to go on which flight first, how you got to split your leaders. If the team, for instance, we're split in 2, the person that's staying back here, they're keeping the sat phone and some money, because there's no real good cell phone coverage here, while we're going to Lay, where we will have cell phone coverage, and we're also taking money. And then I also have a photo of the CI folder on my phone, so in case we do get split and then not join the same day due to the weather coming in or something like that, and the second plane can't leave, meaning I still all have the details on my phone and the other leader has the CI folder. So think about that. They have really strict rules about how much bags you can actually take and weigh, so they're usually fairly strong about only taking 10 kilos, and you have to obey that, because it's not just like an international flight where you can be like, oh, she'll be right, just chuck a bit more in, but it's according to how much fuel they can take on their planes. So if you have your bags too heavy, then they are allowed less fuel, and that's not always a safe thing for the amount of distance they have to travel. So stick to the 10 kilo limit, plus excess baggage, whether it be MAF or North Coast or whoever, is incredibly expensive. And if you are going to have excess baggage from the beginning, like immunisations or medical supplies, usually give a heads up to the MAF people, because they might already arrange 2 planes straight away, because they know you guys are going to be heavier than usual. When you hop on the plane, they weigh, they get you with your backpack and your bilum to hop on the entire scale, and some people find that awkward, so just give a heads up to everybody on team that they'll be doing that. Another thing is when you are issued your tickets, so if you're working through MAF, it's all done through the offices online, and they issue you a ticket via email. You have to bring a hard copy of that email to the plane, because the pilot doesn't really talk a whole lot with the office, so they need to see proof of purchase before you hop on. And same with North Coast, if they issue a paper ticket for you that you actually have to keep as well, because you can't hop on the plane until you present that paper ticket. And yeah, so don't throw it out when you get it, because it has to be for 2 flights. So yeah, keep any paper tickets you have. And we fly out today on Monday, but our next flight is not till Wednesday, which is good, because there's a good chance when you're flying with any of these small airlines into these rural remote areas that the weather can change, or with MAF, they get an emergency pickup for a missionary, they have to get out or something like that, so your flights change all the time, so you want to have a good space in between flights, just in case, worst case scenario. Yeah, so that's about it. If I've got anything else, I'll write it under this video for you to read. Cheers.